Right, all right, all right. Got about a 5 minute intro till we start talking about week one. Special guest tonight, Mark Elmore, will come in and talk about a little college football. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Here we go, guys. 1 minute and counting. 30 seconds. 'All right, all right, all right. We live, live, live. Big E in the house talking about some football with my main man, Jay Swizz.
Man, y'all know who it is. Coach Get Busy.
Coach Get Busy and Jay Swizz in the house tonight doing what we do, talking about a little football. It's back in the 850. High school and college kicks off this week. You already know. All right, so real quick, we're going to recap last week. We're gonna recap last week a little bit, see what we talked about. We had Childs as a sleeper program, and I don't know, guys. You tell me what y'all think.
Yeah, they're. Oh, I see. I see them going under 5 games.
I mean, I think first game jitters always. Still coming out with a win, 24-6 over JP2, who had a pretty good year last year, 5-7. But I mean, early game. I think they got some good coaches out there and a good culture. So I think they'll bring it together.
Yeah, I mean it was actually the first game we covered in the season, and we went out and both teams looked a little nervous. I've always said JP2 probably has some of the best coaches in the city, but I think they're dealing with a very small program, man. It's going to be tough to compete with the numbers that they have this year. So I don't know. We're gonna recap. We're gonna recap how we feel about them and where they're gonna end up this year. Child's on the other hand, man, that is probably the smallest Child's team I've seen in a very long time.
Sure, sure.
Um, Child's normally has those big boys up front. They didn't display that. I kept hearing about some kid that transferred in that's supposed to be one of the top receivers, a three-star receiver. I really
Three
didn't see
stars.
him. Was it DB or receiver? Was a three-star DB. Didn't really see him do a whole lot. So it's gonna be interesting, man. But I don't know. I think Childs is another year away. I think they still got another rebuild year in front of them.
I
So
agree.
about another year away.
I agree.
So let's talk about the other program we watched. We watched Jeffco and FAMU. Um, surprisingly, Jeffco uh, Jeffco looked a little better than they've looked in a long time.
Yeah,
I think that coach is doing a really good job with that program as far as bringing it back. They put it on FAMU early. FAMU still got a lot to figure out. They got some numbers. It
they
look
got
like
some big, got some big boys
they
on
got
the
some big
line.
boys. They got some bodies out there, but just trying to put it all together, man, and get that culture back where it needs to be. About you, Jay Swizz? I know you were at the game.
I know Jeff Code is 130 Rich family. I mean, just looking at it, they were moving to the ball all around. They were moving to the ball all around. They look a lot better than they were last year. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't see Jeffco sneaking up on nobody, but I think they're gonna have a better season they had last year. They had a really good opening. And then to the finale of the night, man. Lincoln and Florida
Florida High.
High. Um, well, actually, there's two more. So Lincoln and Florida High. I mean, Lincoln dominated. You
That was
know,
that was that was some good football for the first game of the
yeah,
season
for a
for
King
Lincoln
sure.
Ball Classic, that was a
Lincoln
good game.
dominated. I think Florida High hung in there as much as they could, but Lincoln really dominated. They showed that they're back. I
They're a
think
complete football team
they're
this year for
they're
sure.
definitely a complete football team. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
There's some games that I really want to make sure we catch.
yeah,
But that Lincoln and Florida High game, man, that showed me a lot. The quarterback. I talked to him after the game, man. He really looked poised. He looked comfortable back there.
yeah.
Last year, I think he rushed a lot. This year, he looks real comfortable in the pocket, and he didn't take off as much as he did last year. And when he did run, it was needed.
Yep,
So
yep.
I'm excited to see those guys, man, and then to go to the finale, which to me are two teams, two sleeper
I
teams.
actually want to go back to that Lincoln and Florida High game
Oh, go ahead.
just because we did some post game interviews that after that game and I mean the guys that are in charge of that Lincoln team, Tyler Howard, Makai,
Makai Maddox.
All right, I think we back live, man. I'm not sure what happened. We got cut off. Quiz, we back live. Not sure why we got cut off, but I think we back. All right, so we were talking about that camera off. We gonna be live in the studio. We're gonna be live in the studio in another week or so. We still working on getting the studio taken care of. But all right, so go back to that Lincoln and Florida High game, man. So you say you did some post game interviews at that Lincoln game.
Yeah, Lincoln and the two players that we interviewed Tyler Howard and Makai Maddox. They they look they look really like complete like real leaders, and like they really want to show like these young players like a winning mindset. They really want to come together as a team to win.
Um, Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, the quarterback looked real poised, man. He looked comfortable in the pocket. I watched him a little bit last year. I think he rushed a lot last year and really got, really got happy feet and took off running a lot, man. But this
Hmm.
year, he seems to be looking for his targets, man, finding his man, making great reads, and I'm excited, man. I think he's going to be a pretty good ball player in the 850 this year, man. So I'm excited to see him.
Hmm. Yeah, I will say Sims. He looks more of a he looks more like a quarterback. Like he's not running the ball every time he gets out of a snap. He's actually waiting in the pocket, throwing it, looking to get his receivers open.
Yeah.
Runs when he has to.
Yeah, and we're not gonna count Florida High out, man. They got a great coaching staff, man, and they do wonders with a little man, and they've that quarterback he looked little young and a little shaken up, but I'm excited to see how
Yeah.
they grow, man. Florida High does an amazing job
And
every
and I
year.
think we are talking, kickoff classic. This wasn't
Yeah,
week
Yeah, this.
one,
Yeah.
so I mean, I mean, they're not gonna pull all their tricks out their hat yet
yeah,
and show them their whole game plan. I mean, I'm sure they ran the same 5 plays the whole game and really just trying to perfect those things, get it out. You know what I'm saying? Get it in some game time. But I think they will put it together later down in the season.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I'm excited to see those two teams, man, and how they do week one. Um, and then Lincoln and Leon. Thoughts?
Well,
Not Lincoln. I'm sorry, Ricketts and Leon.
Yeah, Rickards and Leon.
Ricketts and
I
Leon
think Rickards looks complete this year. A lot more than people
expected.
expected them to. I mean, their defensive wise, they're sound from the D line to the safeties. I
Man,
mean,
I think when you talk about teams to beat in the 850, I think Ricketts has established themselves as the team to beat in 850.
for sure, percent.
I think Lincoln has
Him and
always
Lincoln, 100%.
been that team, but I think Ricketts is taking that torch and established themselves as the team to beat.
Yeah,
I mean, they can only beat themselves.
yeah. And I
You know.
mean, it's probably been like that for the last 5, 6 years. I mean, they're always most athletic team in this area, and I mean, I think if they can find a way to put it together this year, that they will shock a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, like I said, Rickards, they did look like a complete football team. It's a couple of pieces, with the offensive line, block that they're gonna have to, sharpen up. But they did look really efficient this year. They really look like they want to win some games.
Um, I mean, and that kid Wiggins, man, he is as advertised. I mean, he really is as advertised, man. The kid, he dominated from the beginning to the game to the end of the game.
Yep. I think
Um,
he's gonna have an amazing season
he
too.
did what he wanted to do. If he wanted to go inside, he went inside. If he wanted to go outside, he went outside. I mean, the kid just dominated. So when it comes to a complete player, I really do think that he'll be the complete player when he goes to college. Um, so yeah, so those were the games we caught this kickoff classic. I know there were many more. I know Gasson went down to Venice and actually did a really good job, held in there. What was that score, Jay?
34-19.
34-19, man. And I saw a little bit of the film on them. Gaston looked good, man. They got a quarterback over there that throwing the ball around a lot.
Yeah,
So they look good, man. It's gonna be
and that Venice team isn't a easy team to beat either.
no, it's
So
not an easy team. Not
I
an easy
mean
team at all.
to come out there and even put 19 points up on the board in your first kickoff classic as Gas, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
they're
No,
doing something right over there.
yeah,
So I
no,
think they're
I'm
moving in the right
excited to
direction.
see Gaston as well. Got some great coaches over there as well, and done a good job with that program.
Yeah.
Godby went out and pitched a goose egg.
Yeah, they
Um,
won. They
did they
won.
play anybody?
I mean, they
OCP.
won Orlando Christian Prep. Orlando Christian Prep. They're usually
once,
known.
come on,
I
man.
mean, they're usually known for having a good football team, but it's
How
just like
long ago? I mean, we talking 80s,
Yeah.
90s? Like, what we
I
talking about?
mean,
I mean, it seemed like the past couple years they said they've been having a good football
I
team, but
got you.
I'm guessing not.
So is Godby back? I mean, is Godby
I'm not.
We can't say
We're
that
not
yet.
gonna go
We
too
can't really
far
say that yet.
to
okay?
say that.
We
It's
got to see
like
them put. We got.
kickoff classic,
Yeah,
man.
that's
This
the
the
thing.
click. This the
Kickoff.
kickoff
All
classic.
right.
Let them get to week 3, and then we can get some Gobby's back shirts.
Okay. All right. So all right, we're gonna check them out. They got a big game this week, man.
Records. They play records.
Yeah, they got a big game this week, man. They're gonna have to
Yep.
come with it.
I think this will be their test right here.
This is gonna be a test for them. And then McClay had a game this
Yeah,
week,
they
right?
went out. They won 42-19 versus Orange.
42
They beat
19.
Orange Beach though, so we're not
Yeah,
going.
man. But hey, they on the plane heading to Ireland right now.
Yeah,
You
they're
know
going
what I
to
Hey.
mean?
play.
So
They going to.
they're representing the 850 in
Yeah.
Ireland, man. I wish them well. Hopefully they go over there and get the W, man. That's a long way to go to play some football, but man, it's got to be exciting.
It'll be a long flight back if they
Man,
don't come back with a
listen,
W.
listen. When you go that far, man, you
You
gotta
gotta
put
win.
your cleats in the dirt and you gotta win some games. But I wish them well, man. Safe travels to McClay, and
100%.
hopefully they bring the win back to the 850. NFC, man,
NFC, they came out with the win too.
NFC came out with a win, man. They got a small program as well. They got a young program, so it's gonna be interesting to see how they how they fare
Yeah,
this year. And then Taylor
NFC.
County had a big win.
Yeah, they came out with the win, 28-0
Yeah,
versus Hudson.
Taylor County had a big win, man. So it's exciting to see these teams in the 850, man, and kind of see where they're gonna go. Jay Swizz, we're gonna take a break right now, man, and we're gonna start from the bottom and work our way to the top as far as
Week
this
1.
week's predictions. Hey, one time we want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Excellence Auto. Excellence Auto. If you're looking for a vehicle, look out, reach out to Excellence Autos where they can ride in style. Excellence Auto. All right, we're back. We're back. We're back. We were on a little break, man. I don't know. We got kicked off again. Got to figure this thing out before next week, man. Um, oh man, got to turn the video off once again. Remember, we're working on the studio. We got to get the studio right for next week. So, I don't know where we ended up. We can you hear me? Oh, hold on. All right, so we ended up talking about McClay, man. I'm not sure if we got that on, but McClay, man, we wishing the best as they travel to Ireland to play a team over there, man, for a little kickoff classic. So we're
The
excited
Windham
about that.
Jaguars.
Who is it?
The Windham Jaguars.
Windham Jaguars. Okay,
Wyndham.
Wyndham. Okay, well let's hope that McClay comes back with a W, man, representing 850. So we're excited about that. One time for our sponsors, FCA. If you're looking for a career, look up FCA. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, we're gonna jump into our player of the week, man, for last week. Um, it was a tough one, man. I'll be honest, it was a tough one. It was a toss up. Um, but Jay Swizz, what's the stats on my man? Tell me about the stats.
So it
No,
was
just tell me about the stats. Just tell me
start,
about the stats.
he had 10 carries,
10 carries,
188 rushing yards
188 rushing
for
yards,
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns, and that was what pretty much all
Yeah,
done in the first
yeah.
half.
And matter of fact, one of his touchdowns got taken back. Yeah, it was a
Yep.
flag, so he really could have had 3. But
Yeah, so you talking about a kid that is probably going to be one of the top running backs in the area, man. Mr. Carlise Price is our
100%.
game time prep player of the week, man. Number 11. Look for us, man. We'll be on your field soon, man, with a little swag. But yeah, man. So Carlise, man, I got a chance to see him a little bit. Man, he's electrifying. Every time he touched the ball, man, he made something happen. So
Yep.
he's it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be exciting to watch him play all year
100%.
long, man. And
I'm I'm ready to see him versus Gavi defense.
man, it's
yeah,
gonna be exciting. It's gonna be
See what
exciting.
they're
Not
see.
saying that we counting out Leon's defense, man.
I mean,
I think
No, no,
Leon
no, never,
defense showed
never.
up, man.
yeah, they did it.
I'm not counting anybody out in the kickoff class. You know, nobody's putting their best foot forward coming out week one, not even week one, but
Week 0.
preseason week 0.
Zero.
So I think you'll see some rough football come this Friday.
Yeah, yeah. So it's exciting, man. So let's talk about y'all want to go through your top tens? Y'all want to
Let's
start
do it.
there?
Let's do it. Let's
All
do
Go.
it.
right, we're
Let's
gonna
do it.
bust these top tens out, man.
I'm
Jay
gonna let
Swizzle, who you got? Who you got at the bottom? Let's start at the bottom.
At the bottom, I got Taylor
Coming in at what, number
number
10?
number
10
10.
coming in. I got
Coming in
Taylor
at number
County.
10, Taylor County. Who they got this week?
They got
Dothan. Ooh, ooh. That could be tough. That could be tough. What you think?
I mean, they really gonna have to. They really gonna have to show their.
Once again, they got a new coach over there, man, and he's a pretty good coach, man. I mean, Taylor County's always hit with that bug of kids transferring in and out.
Yep.
I think they
Mhm.
got a good group of kids home right now, so it's gonna be interesting. I mean, to put up 28 points in the kickoff classic. It sounds like the offense is doing well. Didn't get a chance to
Yep.
see them, but you know, I don't know. We're gonna
Yep. I think coming off that win too, in that preseason does help you
Yeah,
going
that's
into
gonna
week
build
one. So I
confidence.
mean,
yeah,
especially for that group kind of find their feel.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean,
definitely
coming off a
motivated.
28-0 win, I
Listen,
think.
it doesn't matter who you
Yep,
playing.
yep. That goose egg, man. That makes you feel a lot better
It
about
does.
your season
It
ahead.
doesn't matter who you playing, man. If you put 28 points on the board and you hold them to 0, you feel like you've done something, man. And
Yep.
it gives you that motivation going into practice next week. Gives you an opportunity to really get out and get after it in practice and be ready to play on Friday night, man. So, what you think? You got Taylor?
I mean, if they play the way they played in week 0, if they play, I got Taylor. If they
Keep the
go ahead,
momentum up. I think
yeah.
they'll get another dub.
Got Taylor on
Mhm.
the dub. All
Yep.
right, got you. Who's next?
At number 9, I got NFC North Florida Christian.
NFC. You
Yeah.
two B?
Yeah, I actually got Childs at 10.
Ooh,
I got Childs at 10.
ooh,
I got NFC at 9.
ooh. Okay, okay,
Mhm.
okay. Hold on before we get too far. So you got Charles 10. Okay. Okay. Who they got next week? Swizz.
Let's go ahead and check it out. Check it
So
out.
you had NFC?
I had NFC at 9 next.
I got NFC at 9 as well.
Okay.
So for Charles looks like they play. But correction, Charles plays Dope, and Taylor County plays Hudson.
Okay. Okay.
So
Taylor County just played Hudson.
yeah,
Come on, Swizz.
correction again. Charles, Charles first game they're supposed to play Pelham High School.
Pelham
Okay.
High School.
Pelham
Okay.
High School. The way they look versus JP2, they got a lot of things to work on, a lot of things to fix. I mean, their defensive line, they gotta get some pressure to the quarterback. Their offense, feel like that they got a running quarterback. So I mean, just
I
removing,
think they're starting off slow, man.
yeah,
You
they're
know,
just
they're a culture program, just
mhm.
like the Florida High, NFC. These other schools that kind of keep the same culture, keep the same mindset. So I think they're starting off slow right now, but I think they'll build back up and end off around that 6-4, 5 and
I
6.
don't know, man. I'm concerned. I haven't seen Childs as small as they are right now. And they got some big shoes to fill. They got some big games in front of them. They got to play Leon. They got to play Lincoln. They got to
Yeah,
play. You
Yeah.
know, they got to play in that division,
yeah.
man.
This
And
gonna
I
be it's
think they
gonna be a
play
tough
nice.
year for
Do
him.
they play Niceville this year? I'm not sure, but that's gonna be tough. I mean,
Yeah,
that's gonna be a tough. It's gonna be a tough season for them.
Hmm.
So I don't know. This is gonna be a good test for them. I think this will be a good test to see kind of how they do and how they come out.
who you got at number 8, Jay?
At number
Well, hold
eight,
on. We got to hit NFC, right, man? You say y'all got
we got
NFC.
Yeah,
NFC at
NFC
number
at
So
number
nine.
9.
NFC got to run up a Chipley on Friday night, man.
Yep,
That's gonna be interesting. Chipley always has a decent little ball club. I think Chipley might get the win over NFC this
I
time.
do too. I think
Um,
Chipley plays tough
they
football
play tough
every year.
football,
Hmm.
and when you only have 22 players on your team, man, it's
Yep,
it's 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 hard to sustain that throughout the whole game, man. And
100%.
so,
Somebody's
you know,
playing both ways.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So I can see the game being competitive first quarter, but
Maybe.
I think it gets away from them, and Chipley runs away with that game. And NFC has to figure it out. NFC really got to figure it out. So it's gonna be interesting. But I got NFC losing that one, the first game of the season, man.
Number 8,
At number eight, I got Leon. Who?
Leon
Leon,
Lions.
Leon Lions,
Keep doing
Leon,
Leon. Like,
I
Leon,
got
and we know who they play, right?
yeah, they play Ricketts this Friday.
Swizz, man, we gotta get you off the stats, Swizz. So you got Leon, man. Leon had a great showing. Um, Friday night, they really did. I still the verdict's still out, but I think Leon's gonna be very competitive this year.
Correction, Leon plays St. John Paul II. AP
that'll be
2.
a good game to
It's gonna
go
be a
watch.
good game.
That's gonna be
It's a good game. We probably stop by that one. But I mean, once again, it goes back to what we talked about. JP2 has a small team this year. I think Leon's gonna lean on him a little bit, and I think it's gonna get away from him in the fourth quarter, and I think Leon's gonna come away with the win.
I agree. I agree. I think Leon's still a good football team.
I think they're a great football
yeah,
team.
they were moving the ball really
Yeah,
efficiently versus
yeah.
Ricketts
I
on
think from where
defense.
they
Yeah.
came from over the last couple of years, and
Yep.
building that program, I
Yep.
think they finally
And
gotten
you
to a
also got to
point.
look at competition, man. They're playing Rikers. I mean,
Yeah,
Rikers looks like a sound team this year. So I
yeah,
mean,
very
to
competitive.
even move the ball and
Yeah,
get to see a competitive defense like that. I mean, I think that'll make them
yeah. I
take
mean,
League One a lot more serious
and you're
and
talking about an athletic team. Rickers is
100%,
very athletic,
100%,
Hmm.
very probably
and
one of the most athletic teams
100%,
in this area.
100%. And so when you sit and really look at it, and you see how Leon kind of handled their own against a team like that. I think they're gonna compete. I think they're gonna do really well. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. But I got Leon for the win
Yeah, I got Leon
on
for the win
Friday
for
night.
that game. I got
Friday
Leon.
night. What we got next?
At number 7, we got the Garbage. Garbage.
Derby Cougars is number
Garbage
seven. Number seven. That's gonna be interesting, man. I mean, as much as I would like to say Gabi's back and that Gabi can kind of reestablish themselves in the community. They got a tough game Friday night.
Yep,
Yeah, really
100%.
tough. They gonna have
And
to
I
show.
and I I don't even want them to not to say get their hopes up because I mean Rickers does look really good right now. So I mean even if they go out and play a competitive game versus Rickers, I mean I think they still are a
Yeah, they
pretty
still
good
got
team.
opportunity.
Yeah, for
Still got a
sure,
chance
for
to
sure,
salvage the season. I
for
mean,
sure.
the season's not over after one game. You go out, you learn, you build on it.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I absolutely. I think it's gonna be chippy. I mean, both teams are
Yeah.
Yeah.
are, are, are pretty
I mean
chippy.
this is a rivalry
It's
game.
a
Yeah.
rivalry game, man. It's a rivalry
This
game.
is
And but one day I like to see. I like to be able to say that Gavi's back, man. And
yep.
Coach Houston, I think he's the right guy for the job. But APG for life, man. So I'm hoping that one day we're able to say Gavi's back. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, so Gavi and Rick, man, I think that's gonna be a good one.
That'll probably be the game of the week to me.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna
Yeah,
talk about it.
I
I
think
think
that
there's gonna be a couple of them, but we're gonna talk about that one. So who we got next? Who you got next on yours?
At number 7, I got Florida High.
What you got?
number 7,
Yep. Who you got on your number 7?
I got Gabi at number 7 for me.
Okay. So you
And
got Florida High.
yeah,
Yeah, I got Florida High. I got Florida.
So who Florida High got Friday night?
They got who gets out of town.
My number 6 is Gaston.
Gaston, your number 6?
Yeah, I got Gaston coming in at number 6. Playing that
Tift County, right? Think they got Tift
They
County.
played Denellen. Fort High plays Denellen Friday. Yeah, Denellen.
Where is that at?
Denellen. That's Denellen. Denellen.
All right, so we ain't gonna win no beauty contest. Um, all right, we got my man Mark
It is
coming
in
in, man.
Denellen Park.
We're gonna jump into a
College
little
football.
college, man, real quick. We got the kickoff classic, man. The first game of the season is Florida State and Georgia Tech. Mark, what's happening, man? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Thanks for having me on. I
Uh,
can hear you.
Good shot. I'm gonna turn your camera off, man, because we going no camera this week. We're gonna get the studio right, and
Glad
we'll
to have you here with us, Mark.
Glad to have you here.
Thanks.
hey,
Thanks.
so Mark is a huge college football fan and knows a lot about the game, man. So what's your thoughts, man, when you start talking about college football this year and we start talking about the season? Who's that sleeper team? Give me that. Give me your sleeper team for this year.
For the national championship, I've looked. I feel like the Big Ten and the SEC, with all those additions, have made it very difficult to pick a sleeper. I'd say if I'm going to pick a sleeper to possibly win a conference that no one is expecting, it's going to be out of the ACC, and this hurts my heart. And it is SMU.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Hurts my heart because I firmly believe the Miami Hurricanes are going to finally, they're back. They're going to win that. But it is SMU,
That's an
Florida State.
opinion. That's an opinion.
Florida State's second toughest game is going to be SMU right after Miami.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think SMU. They came into this conference. They got some really good coaching. I do. I think they're going to shake up the conference a little bit. Um, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. So since you said Florida State, let's talk about the game of the week. Florida State and Georgia Tech. They both got on a plane and went all the way to Ireland. I mean, they're 4 hours away from each other. They could have played this game right here in Doak Campbell, but hey, we're gonna go to Ireland. We're gonna do a kickoff classic in Ireland. Who do you think comes out victorious in this game?
Florida State, and they're going to wear them down. It's not going to be close in the fourth quarter. At halftime, you're going to be worried. But by the time the fourth quarter rolls around, Florida State will have this game handily in hand.
I agree. I agree.
You agree with that, Swizz?
I agree. I feel like everybody have all this rant about DJ. He's not good and all this, but I feel like we're gonna
This
play
is
a
his.
more.
This is his what? 14?
Yeah, no, third. This
Uh,
is 13.
13, 13.
13.
His third team.
Yeah, Clemson, Oregon State, and
Thought he had another stop.
nope, 13.
I I don't know. You can't judge anybody by how many teams with the way the transfer portal is right now.
100%.
There's too many
100%.
moving around. But I
But he
will
but he
say,
lost his starting job
I
at
okay,
Clemson.
and that's what I was about to get into.
I
I
mean,
I
so
will
I
say your productivity does show, and if you're not productive at a college and you're losing your spot and leaving, that's a different reason than jumping in the
different reason.
But
portal
I
to
mean,
go somewhere better and bigger to win for a national championship. Now, what he's done now is a great move for himself going to a Florida State. But I mean,
100%.
for I mean, Coach Norvell is probably one of the greatest coaches right now in college football. I mean, he's doing a great job with FSU for Florida State. I mean,
100%.
but
I, I, so my question is, do they fill the shoes that they have to fill game one? They lost. You know, their running back stable. They lost which
but
I mean,
they lost
hands
they
down,
lost.
the best player, probably the best player in college football,
Yeah,
with their
yeah,
quarterback.
yeah.
So I mean, when you talk about those things that they lost, and you have to rebuild that, and you're rebuilding it off of a portal, so you're rebuilding with kids that hadn't
You're
played
you're
together.
rebuilding some of it off portal. They're still deep in a lot of those positions with people that have been there in the system with Norvell since his first year.
Mhm.
and a lot of those guys are actually starting to be seen now, like Kintron and even Jakai last year had a couple of big outbreaks when he's been there for I don't know how long. And I mean, a couple of them guys I mean, is Lawrence so Philly still there?
Yeah, Lawrence Rose.
So I
Yeah,
mean, that's your running back class. Yeah, you lose what Trey Benson, but I
Trey
mean,
Benson.
Lawrence LT is a great running back, man. I mean, you can't take that from him. I think they're gonna be okay in the skill asset, and those Porters guys just kind of give you an extra factor and help you out. But I- the quarterback situation is gonna be a hard one. I definitely don't think he fills those shoes, but I definitely think he gives you another option with a actual pocket passing quarterback because he's not gonna run like Jordan Travis.
I mean, they start slow. Florida State has always started slow.
100%.
They start slow. Can you start slow against a team like Georgia Tech? Mark, talk to me.
So Georgia Tech won 4 games last year at not necessarily at the wire, but they were very close. Georgia Tech has a lot of confidence. So if Florida State gets down by 10, it's going to be a problem. I don't think they're ever down by 10. Florida State has lost too much from last year's team to be the definitive ACC favorite. Their running game is still excellent, offensive line, but they don't have any. They lost their quarterback. They lost Wilson. They lost Keon Coleman. They don't have these playmakers like that we're
100%.
familiar with on the outside.
I agree.
They're going to have to almost ground and pound and play defense, and that'll work against most teams. And it'll wear Georgia Tech down. Yeah, it'll wear Georgia Tech down. I'm concerned when they play these other teams that can score, such as Miami and SMU. They're gonna have problems there. But Georgia Tech, you're gonna look up worried in the first quarter, and then go to sleep in the fourth quarter. It's gonna be a blowout.
Well, I mean, Georgia Tech has pretty good coaches. I mean, they got a new quarterback that came in from Texas A&M.
Yeah, I
Kid
think Georgia
throws the
Tech.
ball real well. I think it's going to be a competitive game.
I agree.
I think it'll be a competitive game. I think what you're going to see is once again, I think you're right. I think Georgia Tech goes up. I think they get a little nervous, and it's that that adversity, how Florida State, how those young players handle that.
Yep.
And
I think Georgia Tech's excited to play Florida State though.
Yeah.
100%,
I think they're excited. I think they do think they have a chance to win this game,
100%.
especially with the new quarterback change and the players that the Florida State has lost. I think and that's what Mark's probably talking about. That makes them nervous if they go up by 10. How that adversity will hurt them because I mean, you do start to look for those guys like Jordan Travis that used to be there that used to instill teamwork and stuff like that into the rest of his teammates. So I mean, it's gonna be fun to see who FSU leans on as leaders.
100%. That's what I want to see. I want to who's the playmaker,
Yep.
right? Because Travis was always that guy that gave you that spark.
Yep.
I don't see that with DJ.
Keon Coleman,
Keon Coleman,
even Johnny Wilson
hundred
wasn't that big of a spark, but his
percent.
impact will be felt in this
It'll be
offensive
missed.
scheme.
The
It'll be missed.
players that I see that are gonna have to be a leader this year is gonna have to probably be Kai Douglas and Lawrence Wilson. They've been with the program. They've been with Norvell. They know how it works. So they're really gonna have to be the guys to like step up and show that leadership.
Gotcha. Mark, give me a score prediction.
I'm just nervous about FSU's offense. We don't know what DJ's gonna do, but what's the running back's last name? Toafi. I
So
always
Philly.
Toa
pronounce it.
Fuli.
So
Yeah,
Philly.
Tuafuli. He's gonna get off. So just from the talent that they have on the decent defensive side of the ball, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing is 27-13.
Yeah,
27-13 FSU. Gotcha. Gotcha. I love it.
I'm gonna
Love
go.
it.
I'm gonna go 28-21
28-21. Okay.
FSU.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
35.
Georgia Tech's defense last year, they gave up 221 yards a game, and that's 128th in the FBS, and that's all FSU is going to want to do.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Norvell's really about running the ball and throwing the ball. So
Interesting. What'd you say, Swizz? What's your score?
35-14.
35-14. 35-14. Hey, we're not gonna look ahead too much, but next week, man, next week, I think when college football really kicks off, man, I'm excited. We're gonna be back on next Wednesday night, and we're gonna talk about a little bit more college football. But we can't leave tonight without mentioning the game of the century. My Florida Gators against the Miami Hurricanes. That to me is going to be one of the best games that has been played in a very
I
long
feel like
time.
we need to figure out how to get game time prep podcast on the sideline.
On the sideline of that
Yeah,
game,
we need to figure out how to get to that game.
it's gonna be a burn burn. It's gonna
Is
be a
Graham
burn
is
burn.
Graham Mertz still lining up as quarterback?
See, man, we ain't gonna go into it right now. We ain't gonna go into it right now because I know
Let's leave it for next week.
we're gonna
Let's
leave
leave
it
it
for
for
next
next
week.
week.
But
We're
but
gonna let
I
it build up.
but I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I'm gonna go on record and say
I know
I think the Gators gonna
I,
shock the
I know
world,
there's
man.
some tensions right now in the room, so
There's a lot of
we're
tension.
gonna let it go until
There's a
next
lot of
week.
tension.
Let everybody catch a
There's a lot
breather.
of tension. But hey, Mark, man, appreciate you for jumping in, man. Giving us that college highlight. We're gonna always have Mark on doing the college breakout for us. And yeah, man, good stuff.
Yeah, no. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. We'll see you next week.
All right, see you then.
Hey, so yeah, so we have Mark on, man, and Mark's gonna do our college breakout for us every week. Um, let's pick it back up, man, with the high school football. Where we at?
I think we're still doing our
Yeah, we
our
should be at
predictions. I think let's just roll through 'em.
Who we on? Roll through them.
Yeah, we're at number 6 right now. So he just did his number 6. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
So at my number 6, I got device closed up on me. Number 6, I got Gadsden. Number 5, I got Florida High. Number 4, I got Rickard.
Number 4, yeah, I got Richard. Number 4 too.
Ooh.
We got at number 5.
And number 5, I got gas.
Gadsden at number 5. Rick at 4. Who you got at 3?
I got Wakulla at 3.
I got Wakulla at 3.
Got Madison at 2.
Yep.
And then Lincoln,
Lincoln
at
at that one spot for
one.
sure. Lincoln looks like a sound football team, man. I don't think anybody in the city beats Lincoln unless somebody really puts it together or like Rickard.
Interesting. I personally, I think you put Rick at the top, man. After seeing what I saw, I think you put Rick at the top.
I can't do it, man.
I-
Lincoln plays too well of as a team for me to go ahead and put Rick above them right now. I think Rickard still has some growing to do, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I think I mean running wise, I think they look pretty good, but I mean for 4 quarters you're gonna have to spread it out. You're gonna have to throw it down the field, and you're gonna have to really uh uh put some offense together.
With Lincoln's front 7, I mean, it's really gonna be like this is Carlis. He already did 188 yards for 10 carries, but versus Lincoln, he's gonna like they have a great front 7. So I mean, he's gonna really have to like show like the offensive line
agree.
is really gonna have to show.
I agree.
And then like Lincoln secondary, Tyler Howard,
Yep.
he was one of the players
Yep.
that we were gonna consider, but like their DBs, Rickers is gonna really have to put it together. to
Yep.
beat Lincoln.
I got you. And then I see you got Wakulla. Some of y'all got Wakulla at the top.
Yeah,
They got Phil at 3
yeah.
under
they-
Madison
And
County.
they dropped the Madison in the kickoff classic now.
And I think you playing that Madison County team as McCullough coming off an 11-2 year. I mean, you're looking at a good game, preseason game. So I mean, that you can't count your losses or wins right there because both of those teams are pretty good unless they play back later on in the season. Then you can see who's better than who. But right now, I think they're still putting it together. And whenever McCullough gets on the road, I think they'll beat
Yeah, later on
beat the
in the
rest of these
season.
teams. I think Madison County is just a good team.
Madison County. So you got Madison County at number 3.
2.
Number 2. Boo
Yeah.
Hill, man. I think Boo Hill's back, man. I think you're gonna start seeing the Madison County that you've seen over the years.
Yep. I think it took a minute for that, that system.
Oh yeah,
That system,
that
man.
system,
They had them eighth graders, rising eighth graders that are now juniors, and those
100%.
ninth graders that are now seniors. I think they're it took them a minute, but the program that we were used to seeing in Madison County is slowly coming back
slowly
and
coming
has made
back.
its way back.
Yep, and you talk about it. They got some new coaches over there, so
Yep.
they all had to get acclimated to the program and
Yep.
had to get acclimated to the players. And I think Madison County, you're gonna see Madison County back at the top.
Yeah, man.
As always. Who you had number 5?
At number 5, I had Gas.
And Gaston. Look, man, I don't want to count Gaston out yet, man. I think Gaston County is, I know they lost a couple ball players, but from what I saw, man, I saw a little bit of footage, I saw a little bit of film.
Yeah.
They're solid.
Yeah,
They're
I mean
solid, man.
they're
They're
always an
big.
athletic
They're
team.
big up front. They got some big guys up front.
Yep.
Quarterback throws the ball around real well. I think they're going to be. I think they're very competitive.
Yeah, I
Very
got Florida High at that 5 spot though. I got them up close to the. I know they lost in this preseason game, but once again they lost to that #1 spot, Lincoln. So I mean,
I have
you
Florida
you
High.
can't you can't count them out just yet.
I have Florida High under gassing because they're still in like the rebuilding phase. Like they got a lot of young players. Like they had a lot of freshmen, sophomores on the defense, and it's really just about rebuilding. I understand. Yeah, Hickman he has a system around it, but these young players, I mean, they're getting new first high school game of the season. They got
Yeah, I
it.
agree.
They got it. They're going to play harder teams. That's why I feel like they're going to have to rebuild up to that work that they
Kansas.
I
have.
agree, but I mean they do have a lot of great athletes over there on that offense. I mean even though that quarterback is young, that system really does protect the young quarterback and does help them. Uh, you know, get the athletes the ball and let them make plays in space. They got a great running back, and their offensive line is actually a lot bigger than you would think they were. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean I think with that system later down the line, I think they'll put it all together, and that quarterback will get a little more comfortable as he starts seeing the bullets slow down.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So we're about to hit our 2 minute drill. 2 minute
Yeah.
drill. Who's the game of the week?
Rickers and
versus
Gavi, man.
Rickers and
I gotta
Gavi.
I gotta see this, man.
Yeah, we got to see that.
You want to know if Gavi's back? I want to see if Rick is back.
Yeah,
We got to see it.
Rickers and Gavi,
Rickers
game
and
of the
Gavi.
week, man. So
Yeah.
we'll be on the sideline. Rickers and Gavi. We're gonna try to get some people over at the JP2 and Leon game. That's
Yeah,
the
for
game that
sure.
we definitely want to see. What do you expect to see in this Rickers and Gavi game?
Rickers to move the ball, really run the ball efficiently. This player of the week, Carlis Price, really to move the ball, to really run the ball.
I think you'll see a lot of good offense, honestly.
On both sides?
I think both teams will be. This is a rivalry game, so I think both teams
100%.
will come out fired up, ready to go, and I think bullets start flying and defense will panic, and both offenses it'll be a shootout for sure.
Listen, if they don't do
It is almost every year.
if they don't do anything at Gabi this week, figure
Yep.
out how to block Wiggins.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's gonna be their problem.
Figure
right there.
out how to
Run the
block
ball
Wiggins.
away from him.
Listen, I don't know if you run from him, if you run at him. I don't know how you want to do it.
Send the whole team at
But
him,
listen,
something.
figure out a way to block Wiggins. That
Yep.
guy is a man child, and
Yep,
he is
100%.
out to
coming.
destroy.
He's
He is
coming.
out to destroy. I think that I think Rick pulls out the win. I think it's
Rick
gonna be
will pull it
I think
out.
it's gonna be a really good game. I would love to see APG turn the corner, but I think Rick really pulls out the win, man. I like what I'm seeing over there. Coach Lewis has done a great job.
100%.
Coach Green is doing a great job with the offense, man. And so it's exciting, man. It's exciting to see those guys kind of turn that page, man, and
Yeah,
get
for sure.
Ricketts back
Who
on the
does
map.
Lincoln play this year again? I mean, play this week again?
First game. Oh, they play an out of town team, Delaware
never mind,
Valley.
never mind.
Yeah, they're out of town,
Yeah.
Delaware Valley.
No,
but
I'm excited to see this Rickers and Gavi game though.
game of the week, man. Ricketts and Gabi. Look for us on the sideline, man. It's your Game Time Prep team, and we out.
Yo. You know who it is. Group 3, get busy on that thing.